home, it can be a gut-wrenching decision. Unfortunately, sometimes these facilities are poorly managed or make bad decisions, and our vulnerable loved ones suffer the consequences. If you believe your loved one suffered at the hands of a poorly run nursing home, it doesn't cost you a thing to get the opinion of a skilled trial lawyer. At Friedman Law, we've been protecting the rights of injured Nebraskans for over half a century. It's what we do, it's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's downtown spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the Sidetrack Band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for maintenance techs. They have needs for the 10B shift, Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 p.m. to 3:30 a.m., the 12A shift, Saturday through Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and the 12B shift, Saturday through Monday from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Minimum 2 years experience in a fast-paced industrial environment is recommended to apply, and pay is based on experience. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Back to the Tickets Basketball Postgame Show. Featuring Derek Pearson and former Husker and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We needed more about 75-74 Huskers fall. And you texters are on point. Tim says, feels like this team has a lot of rhythm players. So Verge isn't getting it flowing from the start. Guys like Vulture, Trey, Tamanaga disappear. Yeah, it was really weird watching him not drive and dish. It seemed off, right? It seemed off. Saying after seeing the rebound after rebound go to Western Illinois' way, I couldn't stop thinking about the Doc Sadler teams, where they had small guys and they still hung. I hope Doc has a heavy voice in these next two practices. Doc always has a heavy voice to practice. I can tell you that. I can confirm that. Rebounding is an effort, and reading the ball in the air. I don't care how tall you are. Yeah, this was like there's no excuse for them tonight on the boards. There's just none. Trey McGowan's is the only one trying to rebound. Walker got manhandled. Verge looks like a bigger ball hog than Teddy Allen. Cam Mack, which is saying something. No, not true. I mean, Verge had 13 rebounds. So,
yeah.
And again,
5 assists.
And you don't want it to just become people 5 out shooting threes. So Verge has to try to make something happen. That's how that works. You need to produce something. You need to create something. Dave, no, bro, that's too much. What is that? And if you're just
let me say something, DP. I will also just note, like this for an example, he had a solid game. Now, you're 6 seconds. Just basketball IQ. You're 6 seconds. They're loading to you.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to load to you. Everybody's head, when it's that late, as you can see what happened on the other end when they hit the three, everybody's head is on the ball carrier. I mean, not ball carrier. I'm thinking football, on the ball handler.
Mm-hmm.
So as he's pressing with 6 seconds, anybody with any type of ability as a guard or point guard can get from one end of the court, 94 feet, to dang near the three or the free throw line in around 3 seconds, right?
Yep.
So that's giving you 3 seconds of time to either get a shot fake and one in a shot, or to get close enough to the basket for one find and an open look. That's what he should have been thinking about as he's penetrating to the basket. They're not going to let you get a layup in that type of situation.
Well, I mean,
So
you're not going to
that
punch
was all the way bad, all the way around for me.
But that's a strict
Go ahead.
rule, right? That in a crucial situation like that, I'm gonna try to punch somebody. Like, you either go foul me or you're gonna end up in a hoop.
I mean, even on that situation, unless I'm Trey McGowan, I'm not at 160 trying to go in and punch on somebody. You know what I mean? If I'm the point guard, that's not that. No, my job is to draw and find, because you know who he's got in the game. He don't have Derek Walker in the game. He's got all shooters, all ball handlers, and people who can make a shot if it comes down to it. So in that situation, as the point guard, I'm going to do my job and I'm going to find that guy. And if we miss it then, we had a good look. That's not your problem.
Right.
But if you miss a twist, turnaround layup at the basket, then that's your problem.
Yeah. Cubsker says, "What's up, DP? What's up, Cubsker? I don't know about you, but it felt like I was a decent mood, but not overly energetic until the posterizer happened. Then it became more lively in the arena." Yeah, I thought there were three moments. Tominaga's three, and both of Trey's dunks. But other than that, people were on their hands. And it should have been, because they went in with expectation and then just sat there. And watch, Bach, you were there. Like, how'd you feel?
Frustrated a lot, because the offensive rebounds, it was from the word go. I mean, it was from the start of the game to the end of the game, and Western Illinois was competitive the whole time. This was not a blowout, or Nebraska didn't have too many runs. They had a few times where they had problems scoring in bunches, so there was never really a time to really get energetic as the crowd and tell those dunks. And those dunks were some of the best. I mean, we've had teams at Nebraska that couldn't dunk all season. To be serious. Right. And Trey McGowan's, man, he does that. Well, he'll crash the lane and try to get one that just looks fantastic. And he got it. And, I don't know how many of those he got last year, but he got so close to him that I'm pretty happy for him tonight. And I do want to mention, too, for his brother Bryce, he looks a lot better than he did the first exhibition game. He kind of looked timid there. He's attacking tonight. 25 on your first night in college basketball is not too bad. I just thought that he did a really good job of drawing fouls for like an extended period of time, driving to the bucket, and then it kind of went away.
When he took the hard fall,
he did take a hard fall.
He took the hard fall. It changed all of it.
It did.
It changed all of it. Strick, give the Husker fans. We're gonna let you get out of here, but give the Husker fan your recap, and then what are we looking forward to next?
Well, again, we should be looking for progression. It was very lackluster. For me, it was very dead. It was very boring. When you have that type of team, that type of depth, you hope to get that man back and Kobe Webster back soon to add to that depth. But you definitely want to see a progression from guys. You want to see that ball moving. You want to see some popping. And you want to make sure you're seeing progression in the rebound. This next game, you want to see a win by a significant margin in the rebounds. And if that's not the case, then there should be a problem. Who they got? They got Sam Houston next.
Yeah, and that's no easy win, bro. I know that squad, and they gonna fight you. So.
Yeah, so you better get it right, because Creighton's gonna bust your head open to the white meat if you keep messing around.
Yeah.
And
how did they finish tonight?
2 games would have been a fine opportunity to get on some get right before you go on November 16th and face Creighton.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be that. All right, Strick, get out of here. Go enjoy yourself. I'll hit you up tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
Folks, stay tuned. We're going to go to break. When we come back, Connor Happer, who was also at PBA, will call in and join us and give us his take on what he saw tonight. Good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. We'll be right back.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop, but you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Tired of interrupted printing or money-wasting long-term copier contract? Join Cartridge World's no-cost printer program. You get a free brand printer, free service maintenance and repair, free delivery. All this for just buying our high-quality, affordable printer cartridges. Simple agreements and local friendly service, as it has been for more than 25 years. Cartridge World. Contact us today.
Time to replace your heating and air system? Get local utility rebates and big cash discounts from Bryant. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. We do whatever it takes.
I'm Dan Friedman. When you entrust the care of an aging or sick loved one to a nursing home, it can be a gut-wrenching decision. Unfortunately, sometimes these facilities are poorly managed or make bad decisions, and our vulnerable loved ones suffer the consequences. If you believe your loved one suffered at the hands of a poorly run nursing home, it doesn't cost you a thing to get the opinion of a skilled trial lawyer. At Friedman Law, we've been protecting the rights of injured Nebraskans for over half a century. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for maintenance techs. They have needs for the 10B shift, Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 p.m. to 3:30 a.m., the 12A shift, Saturday through Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and the 12B shift, Saturday through Monday from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Minimum 2 years experience in a fast-paced industrial environment is recommended to apply, and pay is based on experience. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to the ticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the Tickets Basketball Postgame Show, featuring Derek Pearson and former Husker and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Huskers fall to Western Illinois. MDP Bach is running this thing, getting us through. Big Skies here. And we are efforting Connor Happer, who's there tonight. Just some other news. The University of Virginia just lost a college basketball game to the Naval Academy. Number 25, Virginia, lost to Navy.
That's not good.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here? I don't understand.
Well, they made it a 60-point game. That's not what Virginia wants.
What in the world? What in the world? David Robinson is not walking through that door. How did that happen? I got problems. Ohio State needed a buzzer beater to beat Akron 67-66. Literally at the buzzer for the win.
Yeah.
I would accept tonight a whole lot more had that shot not gone down.
Well, there's some other. I mean, the Citadel beat Pittsburgh. Miami of Ohio beat Georgia Tech. That's just in the ACC.
Yeah.
The early college basketball season's crazy.
I've told you the story. I was miserable. Becky and I were talking about during the game, and I said, you remember how bad some of the first games were, but that's not an excuse. It's just not. Let's bring in Connor Happer on the Honda Lincoln Hotline. Hap, talk to me, man. What in the world happened tonight? What went on?
Well, good evening, and I don't know. I was pretty lost from the start.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't do any of the same things they did in either of their first two exhibition games where we thought they looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think much of that was due to the opponent. Fred Hoiberg talked a little bit about after the game how they, had that switching defense and they were chasing them around a little bit. I mean, that's not new. The guy, he's coached in the NBA before. He's been around. offense was baffling tonight. I mean, there's going to be all this, and we'll talk about rebounds and getting manhandled and stuff like that. But my goodness, the offensive performance was alarming tonight.
I went through several phases, and I thought, okay, they will wake up, right? And I said before the game even started, I said, oh, I don't have the good vibe. I don't. The building doesn't have the vibe. The players don't have the vibe. And the coach and me, I watched players in pregame, and I just went, none of that's good. So I kept waiting for a moment, and I thought Tominaga's three would get it started. But Connor, how do you give up that many rebounds, offensive rebounds, and not make an adjustment? How's that happen?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you can't get. There were signs at a couple of times where they were about to get on a run, and then you couldn't clear the board, and all of a sudden they get a second chance point. It felt like every time Nebraska missed an opportunity. This wasn't the case, obviously, but it felt like every time Nebraska missed an opportunity to clear a possession or clear or clear a board, and they weren't able to. It felt like Western Illinois hit a three that kept them in the game, and then. At the end, they were just going back and forth for a while. So, like the ball's getting tipped around in there. I didn't think they were quite as, like you said, the vibe, the energy, stuff like that. I didn't think they were quite as locked in. But man, I want to hold this team to the standard of I think they should be an NCAA tournament team or close to an NCAA tournament team.
Right.
And when we do the whole thing at the end of the year on resumes, that loss is going to look horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the way we have to think about this. So it was not only alarming for me, but it could come back to haunt them. And that's, I think Fred Hoiberg showed a little bit more maybe frustration tonight or frustration is probably not the right word, but just maybe anger than I've ever seen him after a game before.
Yeah, Bach and I talked, and I asked him whether was this disappointing or were you mad? Because that was the range. Was okay. A part of me watching this group go through the offseason, I thought they were doing things right, but it didn't feel like that group tonight. It didn't look, and the bench. Look, maybe it's the chemistry, right? That you need Lat to set the table for you, for guys to come in and do what they do. He'll stretch you to the corner, and you can't help off. But my goodness gracious, man, is Lat Mayen that important?
No way, no way. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, from the start, and I like some of the things that Bryce showed and being able to get to the rim and Verge doing his thing too. Like I like some of the individual skills that those guys possess. And when you're in a tight game late, that's handy, obviously. But that looked like the game plan from the very start. So I don't know if it was just a bad game plan or I didn't think that I'd ever see a Fred Hoiberg offense. It almost seemed like it purposely looked like that. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad read, but Bryce had the ball in his hands for basically the entire first 10 minutes. It felt like that's not Fred Hoiberg's offense.
Right.
So I guess I'm more confused than anything. Disappointment's not the right word for it. I mean, borderline mad, I suppose, but I more so baffled as to why it looked the way it did.
I kept looking at the scoreboard, and the scoreboard would tell you at one point they had 40 rebounds to 23, and I kept going and I kept looking over well, what? This has to change, right? The numbers have to bear out, and it never got better. It never got better. It just absolutely mind blowing. And Connor, they got 3 points from the bench. 3.
Yeah, that's not going to win you anything. I mean, you saw it. I mean, when that game got tight, they clamped down on the guys that they were playing. I mean, that you find out who you kind of are in those moments. So Those are the guys they trust. Those are the guys they go with, and they have their flaws. I mean, Trey, I like his ability to get to the basket. He's not always the best finisher, although he finished a couple tonight. Obviously, that kind of brought the house down. That was nice. And Verge, I don't know what the heck Verge was trying on that last play. That's a bad play. Like, and we've seen this before in late game situations from Fred Hoiberg's offense. Like, let's give it to our best playmaker. Let him drive and make a decision. And that was essentially the play at the end. And he made the wrong one. I mean, he needed to pass that thing. There was plenty of time, and he drove it straight into the pile as they kind of had been doing all game. It was a terrible look. So, you just weren't able to get out of the mud tonight. And, maybe you give him a pass tonight, but I don't know how many more passes you get. This team, they were supposed to start 7-0, and now you can't do that. So I'm not sure what to do.
I'm all over it, right? Like, this is how you have to have the conversation. Like, you can love the team and say, that was not good. Like, it's okay.
Right.
Like,
no,
that's not good.
I said to a couple people after the game, I was like, I think it seems good still. I mean, they're gonna look better than, but tonight was bad, and like we could definitely have that conversation because it did not look good.
Hap, we'll let you get out. It's been a long day for you, brother. You got go on home and rest and wash this thing off, man.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Yeah, man. It's just, Yeah. So I'll answer two questions with one because Wet Blanket's asking the question, and Happer just mentioned it. In that, what is Hoiberg's offense? What we saw tonight wasn't Hoiberg's offense. It breaks down to that when you don't run Hoiberg's offense. See, that thing that happened tonight was you not respecting the rules of engagement when you're 4 out and a high post. Right? You made the choice. First of all, you couldn't get going because nobody could see a good look and get themselves going offensively. And everybody wanted to get out in transition, to get an easy bucket instead of being patient and wait and working for the hard bucket. But my goodness gracious, when it breaks down, that's not the intent. The intent is the thing that happened when you didn't trust the process or the offense. That's what it was tonight. That, look, pick and roll should be a part of it, but it can't be how you earn your money. That's just not. It just didn't look good. And I didn't. If you could have won a lot of money if you said to me this bench was only going to score one basket. Like, I would have just been, here, take my wallet.
Well, I think they tried some two-man game too, and it seemed to end in a turnover, or just kind of dysfunction. And I think it just led to them more. Okay, fine, then we're just going to isolate here. And Verge is incredible at being able to get you off his dribble. And I thought, and we'll see. You haven't scouted the guy completely, but he can get a mid-range shot out of that a lot. And instead, once he gets you off the dribble, he's still attacking to get to the hole. I wonder how much that's coached or kind of what the idea is there. But he had a lot of open mid-range that he passed up to try to keep dribbling and get to the hole all the way.
There was a lot of thinking rather than playing and reacting. And you tell shooters, don't think, just shoot. That's a long-range mission. Don't think, just shoot. I've heard Hoiberg and I've heard this coaching staff implore, beg the shooters to shoot your shot. Like, there were some fans that were yelling at Bryce to go through and stop shooting. No. Don't stop shooting. Don't stop shooting, because if he doesn't, nobody else is going to shoot. And that's how that works. I've just been in too many bad first games. What Banker says, but DP, this is all we've seen since Fred arrived. As long as this is the offense that I see, for me, this is Fred's offense. I mean, you can say that. That's not a reality. If I'm looking, I've looked at this team practice 14 times. That the offense has never looked like it looked tonight.
That's just a fan base getting frustrated with
I'm
back-to-back
cool. Like I'm cool
frustrating
with that. Like I'm
seasons,
cool with that. But no,
Yeah.
that's not what I've seen from this team.
Yeah.
That's just not what I've seen from this team.
It looked a lot better. I mean, it just did. I mean, it looked a lot better. I mean, maybe it's the competition, Peru State and Colorado. Colorado, for what it is worth, is down to Montana State.
It's Colorado, right?
They're down to Montana State at halftime.
Yeah, well, I mean, but we can say that. Like, okay, Virginia, quit playing basketball. You lost to the Navy.
Right.
Okay, Ohio State, you're struggling with Akron.
Yeah.
So, all that being said, we're not happy. I'm not happy with the performance because I've seen better from this group. But yes, 7-7, 7-20.
Yeah,
we know that taste is still there, right?
And I think the football stuff's piling on right now.
Well, and volleyball's not.
Volleyball's
on a
hasn't been winning.
streak. So thank goodness for the girls. Way to go!
That's right.
Way to go, Huskers women's basketball for putting up 108 and winning by 58. Thank you.
Take that, Maine Blackberry. We're taking all our frustration on the women's court there.
It's to get through. Also from the text line, Mr. Limited says, Verge is a great point guard, but I don't think he fits this offense. I don't know what to do with that because he needs to be on the court. He needs to be on the court. They're a better team with him on the court.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like Adrian Martinez, right? But he gave you 13. He gave you 26 and 13.
Yeah.
And, through all of that, I would expect that 6 games from now, it's a different conversation. I just didn't expect it tonight. I thought in my head, they would lay an egg. I thought they'd lay an egg against Creighton. I thought they'd find their rhythm and they'd lay an egg against Creighton and then they'd become coachable again. But the thing about when you put a new group of players together, you have to have the egg laid. Like it needs to happen in order for folks to believe that. And he has employed, the players have talked about rebounding. Like on the station. Like Derek Walker, they all come in. Buzzy Kurt, they all come in. Look, man, rebound will tell us how we're going to do. Well, it told you. It absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we can break this down a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different stats there, but that's going to be the Achilles heel of this team. And again, sometimes that can be game planned in if you don't want to give up fast break points at times that you're going to give up some rebounds, but it just cannot be this bad. The boxing out wasn't there. The hustle wasn't there. A few guys kind of tried to spark it. Like at times Troy McGowan's would go after the ball, but a ball can bounce here and there and you can get the wrong, but I mean, repeatedly just underneath the bucket, chance after chance after chance, even they'd miss them, but they'd rebound them again. They'd almost be padding the rebounding stats down there because they knew they were going to get it.
There was Strick was right. The Moses Malone. Hey, I'm just going to put up 3 rebounds and get 3 rebounds in numbers. Reality, trust me, brother. We have in fact talked about the rebounding, how poor that was, and how that was the thing. And a lot of the players, and I said this before the game, in the building, watching. I watch teams warm up. And that will tell me where you are. And I said earlier, I'm like, nope. There's a bunch of stuff that was distractful, playful. Like it wasn't about that business. But then they got too serious. Like they got too heavy in thought. And they start thinking about shots to take, how to defend, how to respond. I'll say this. K-State defended really well tonight. And communicated at a high level tonight. If everybody played at his energy, this is a win. And he emptied the tank every possession. That can't be said. Look, Trey McGowan's defended his tail off. Right? I mean, he put in the work. Derek Walker battled, but here's when you this is what I say about Big Ten bigs. When you make the biggest dude on the floor extend both sides of the floor from the middle of the paint, they have to pay the bill. So Derek Walker paid the bill tonight. They made him with the shooter going back and forth, top to key, back to the wing. Yeah. Like he had that check, and he didn't have help tonight. Like Breidenbach did what he could do, but he couldn't get. He
just struggled tonight.
Yeah, he just struggled. So they picked a bad night to have a really bad night. And it was opening night in front of the first crowd of the season, the first real crowd, right? I mean,
For a lot of them,
right?
For a lot of the first crowd in quite some time to play in front of.
Right? I mean, it was hard to watch.
But Strick pointed it out too with Walker. If the offense isn't flowing well, maybe you do some of that inside to out stuff. He only had 3 touches tonight. Maybe you go to that. I mean, they had obviously kind of more size than Nebraska a lot of times out there, so you kind of wonder how that would work. But they needed. I just felt like they needed to do something with the bigs, whether it's put 2 of them on the court or try to get something going offensively down low, to try to make a difference there. But I don't know. I mean,
he didn't have it.
Derek Walker, one of his shot was a 3-pointer early in the game.
Andre was out.
Right.
Mann was out. Breidenbach, because you only have one big behind him, or you're going to go to Oleg, right? Yeah. And Breidenbach got in foul trouble as soon as he got in the game.
Yep.
So that time, those minutes, you could have put them together. No, you couldn't, because Breidenbach had 3 fouls, and Walker's out there, grinding. The only other option would have been Oleg, and they went to Trevor Lakes, who was at the other end of the depth chart.
Yeah,
like they got down, they skipped a whole lot. And remember, you didn't have Kobe Webster either, and this would have been a really good night for Lat Mann and Kobe Webster. So let's say that. I mean, you didn't have a starter. That's not excuse enough. I mean, even the Huskers will tell you that's not excuse enough. Not having
they should have
Lat
won
Mann.
This game.
Yeah, I mean that really head pound. Again, we'll go through some of the numbers just so you guys again. Western Illinois. I mean, it's not like they played well. They didn't play
not
well,
exceptionally,
which is another thing. It's not like they came in here and shot 50% from 3. It's not like they came in and were lights out from 3, or they were 6 of 14 from the free throw line.
Yeah,
right. Like they had 18 turnovers. It's not like they played well, but they did all the stuff that Nebraska wasn't willing to do, which was on the boards and the hit jumpers. 23 offensive rebounds. Just for reference sake, Nebraska had 7. 23-7. Western Illinois had 77 shots to Nebraska's 59. Look, man, no.
That'll win a game. 18 more shots. You get a close game. That's where it is.
They couldn't beat the 5 of us if they gave us 18 extra shots.
They might be able to beat us.
Yeah, they could.
But still.
Of course.
But yeah. But
of course, they were murderers. But,
but you're trying to make a point. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Bach, you're gonna let me down, man. I need you to defend. I need you to box out, man.
I don't know if I've told you I've lost 5-on-4 before, so I don't have a whole lot of faith that I could win against these guys.
I guess we're counting on Big Sky. That's what
That's right.
Big Sky. No, 23 of 59 from the floor, 5 of 20 from 3 points. Again, they shot the free throw, just didn't get the ones down the stretch. 23 of 31, but you didn't get the ones you need. Nebraska athletics being close and then not making the plays when you need to. Giving up 2 threes in the final 16 seconds, unacceptable. Unacceptable. I mean, they were going offense for defense, right? So you knew what was there. You were switching out Tamanaga and Derek Walker, so you were going with a shooter on offense, free throw shooter, and having your big and your rebounder in there on defense. That didn't help you. 3 points from the bench. Three.
Yeah.
Tamanaga gave you 17 minutes, almost 18 minutes. He was 1 of 5 and not mad at it. Like he look, can I say Tamanaga had a rebound? He had the same amount of rebounds as Keon Edwards and Trevor Lakes, and more than Breidenbach. And the bench went 1 for 8. 8 shots from this bench. 8. That's not the plan.
No.
That's not the plan. So you got taken out and
What do you think? What do you think was behind Edwards not getting a whole lot of minutes tonight? It felt like they could have used him more, his size, his length.
Well, but he was not giving them rebounds.
Yeah.
And he's an athletic freak. Jumping ability out of the sky, but you still have to put a body on somebody. Look, this is a very athletic team Nebraska has, but you got to still do the work. I mean, C.J. Wilcher was out there 32 minutes. He had 3 rebounds. C.J.'s a better rebounder than that. He'll tell you that. He's a better rebounder than that. C.J. Wilcher took four shots, all from 3. Right, 2 for 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derek Walker with 3 shots. He had 3 shots.
And Trey McGowan's too, I know he's kind of hot and cold, just kind of decides when he wants to go at it. And of course, 2 of his, he was 3 for 6 with 2 massive dunks. But sometimes even just to spread the ball around a little more, it feels like maybe he should be a little bit more aggressive. But he makes his name known on the defensive end, and I get all that. It just feels like he's just like sometimes it's what happened last year, of course, with less weapons around him, I suppose. But there'd be games where he'd shoot the ball 18 times, and then there'd be games where he shot the ball 2 times.
Simple fix for that in this system is for Verge to go to the corner to work or to the wing and work, and put Trey at the other wing. Because with Derek at the high post, it's traffic, and if he and Derek have to work the same way Verge and Derek work.
Yeah.
And if folks peel out, he can lob it up to Derek and let him get his work. But that wasn't what was going on. Look, I'll give Western Illinois credit. They defended their tails off.
There were not a whole lot of good looks.
Not a lot of open passing lanes, nothing across the middle. The lobs were taken away. Like it was, and if you came in and elevated, they put you on your back. And they got Bryce 3 times. They put Bryce on his back. And I think that last one was the one that really threw it off.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of stopped attacking so much from there, and that that's disappointing. But it's a scary foul. But I also I felt like they didn't identify the shooter as well, like Masner, to be able to get that 3 near the end. But there were shots earlier too, and maybe it's just Masner, for what it's worth, is new to Western Illinois, so maybe their scouting didn't necessarily have him in there as much. But at some point, you kind of saw, okay, he's their shooter. This is a guy. This is a dude.
Well, their shooters had an off night too.
Not Masner. He's 4 for 8.
Okay, that's one.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I just felt like they didn't identify him as the shooter
because
enough to stick to him.
Film, he wasn't the. So, Carius was identified. Pearson was identified. Barisic was identified. You knew that was a call out. Sandage was the one. Sandage with his 1 for 6. But you got a night where the dog got hot. Like he got hot.
Yeah.
And that's, again, but it still should not be reason enough to lose the game. They had a guy get hot and carry them through. Nobody had Masner putting up 21 points and having 8 rebounds.
No.
Like nobody. So, look, through all of it, as what Blanket says, DP, you say everything is either taught or allowed, and that's true. So Fred will have to go back to the lab and fix some things. One, effort is top of the list. Effort is top of the list. Like you just that work can't be done. You can't be outworked. It's unacceptable. Folks shooting their shots. Shoot your shots. But you know what? We'll go back at it again.
Friday. You don't have to wait long. A week from now, they have Creighton, so they better get over this loss pretty quickly.
You ain't worry about Creighton.
Oh, I know you're not.
You better get Sam Houston. And let me tell you, Sam Houston will come in barking. Bach, thank you. Connor Happer, thank you. Big Sky, thank you. Strick, thank you. All you Husker fans, thank you very much. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bach will talk to you first. Big Sky will get you tomorrow night. We got a lot of program for me, and you'll hear from the Husker basketball team as well.